You know that weird thing you do at 11 p.m. when you're scrolling through DoorDash, staring at a $27 total for a burrito that costs $9 in the restaurant, and you still hit place order? That knot in your stomach when you see the receipt, delivery fee, service fee, small order fee, tip, and you do this mental calculation where you're like, okay, that's basically 3 burritos worth of money for 1 burrito, but I'm already in my pajamas. What if I told you that moment, that exact decision you just made, is costing the average American an extra $5,000 a year? Not on big purchases, not on vacations or cars, on stupid little things. Things you don't even remember buying 2 days later. My name is Ronald, and I've spent an embarrassing amount of time calculating exactly how much we're paying just to avoid minor inconvenience. And honestly, the numbers are kind of horrifying. If you've ever looked at your credit card statement and wondered where the hell all your money went, or if you've ever justified a purchase by saying, it's only like $8 more, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact dollar amount you're hemorrhaging every single month on what I call the convenience premium. And more importantly, I'm going to explain why your brain is basically hardwired to make these decisions, even when you know better. Here's what's crazy. According to a study from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, the average American now spends 32% more on the exact same products and services they were buying 5 years ago, not because of inflation, but purely because of convenience upcharges. 32%. So here's the question nobody's asking. What if the problem isn't that you're bad with money? What if it's that every single company in America has figured out the exact price point where you'll pay double just to avoid getting off your couch? So what actually happens in your brain when you see that $18 delivery fee and you pay it anyway? Behavioral economists at Princeton discovered something fascinating. Our brains don't process convenience costs the same way we process regular purchases. When you're standing in Target deciding between a $30 shirt and a $50 shirt, your brain does this whole calculation. Is it worth $20 more? But when DoorDash shows you a $9 burrito that becomes $27 after fees, your brain doesn't compare it to the restaurant price. It compares it to the effort of getting dressed, driving, parking, waiting in line. And your brain values your time at something insane, like $40 an hour, even if you were just going to sit on the couch watching Netflix anyway. Think about the last time you paid for Amazon's same-day delivery. You're sitting there, you need AA batteries or whatever, and there's a Walgreens literally 8 minutes from your house. 8 minutes. But you see that little "Get it today by 9 p.m. button, and suddenly you're paying $9.99 for delivery on a $6 item. That's a 166% markup. And the wildest part? You feel good about it, like you just solved a problem. Your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine because you eliminated a task from your mental to-do list without actually doing anything. But here's what's crazy. According to research from the University of Chicago, people who regularly pay for convenience services actually report higher levels of stress and financial anxiety than people who don't. So, if these services are supposed to make our lives easier, why do they make us feel worse? That's where the hidden mechanism kicks in. And this is where things get really interesting. See, companies aren't just charging you for convenience anymore. They're charging you for micro-convenience. Starbucks has this thing now where you can mobile order and skip the line. Sounds great, right? Except there's a study from Cornell that found mobile orders average $2.37 more than in-person orders. Same drink, same size, because the app suggests add-ons and people click yes without thinking. You're not just paying to skip the line. You're paying for the privilege of making worse decisions faster. Walmart recently rolled out Walmart Plus, which is basically their answer to Amazon Prime. For $98 a year, you get free delivery. But analysts at Morgan Stanley broke down the math, and here's what they found. The average Walmart Plus subscriber spends $1,847 more per year than non-subscribers. Not because delivery costs that much, because having delivery available makes you buy things you wouldn't have bought if you had to actually go to the store and carry them out. You know that feeling when you're grocery shopping at Aldi, pushing your cart around, and you start getting tired, so you stop adding things to your list? That's your body giving you a natural spending limit. But when you're ordering groceries on Instacart from your couch, there's no physical feedback, no tired arms, no mental calculation of, do I really want to carry all this up 3 flights of stairs? You just keep clicking. And the average Instacart order is 43% larger than the average in-store grocery trip, according to data from McKinsey. But if convenience is making us spend more and feel worse, why do we keep doing it? Here's the thing your brain doesn't want you to know. You're not actually paying for convenience. You're paying to avoid the feeling of inconvenience. And companies have figured out exactly how much that feeling costs. There's this concept in behavioral economics called pain of paying. And basically, handing over money hurts, psychologically. Like, your brain processes it similarly to physical pain. But convenience services have figured out how to numb that pain. When you tap a button and something shows up at your door 2 hours later, you don't feel like you spent money. You feel like you made a good decision. The pain comes later, when you check your bank account at 2 a.m. and have that sinking feeling of, wait, how did I spend $800 this month on food delivery? I talked to a financial advisor who works specifically with people making 6 figures who feel broke, and she told me something wild. Her clients, on average, are spending $437 per month on what she calls laziness fees. Delivery services, grocery delivery, premium streaming apps they don't use, subscription boxes, mobile orders with add-ons. $437. That's $5,244 a year. For people who can afford it and still feel stressed about money. So here's my question. What if you just didn't? What if, for 1 month, you eliminated every single convenience upcharge? No delivery fees, no mobile orders, no get it today by 9 p.m. What would that number actually be for you? Look, I'm not saying you should never pay for convenience. I'm not about to tell you to meal prep every Sunday and never order takeout again. That's not realistic, and honestly, sometimes that $27 burrito is worth it because you had a brutal day and you just need to not think about dinner. But here's the thing. That $5,000 a year you're spending on convenience fees, that's not really about the money. It's about the fact that somewhere along the way, we started treating minor inconvenience like an emergency. We started believing that driving 8 minutes to Walgreens is somehow an unreasonable ask, that making dinner is this huge burden instead of just a thing you do. And here's what nobody talks about. Every time you pay the convenience premium, you're training your brain that effort isn't worth it. That your time is so valuable, you can't possibly spend 20 minutes doing something yourself. But then you spend that same 20 minutes scrolling TikTok. So what are we really buying? That $27 burrito isn't the problem. It's the 47 other micro decisions just like it that you're making every single week without even noticing. And the companies charging you? They're counting on you not noticing. So here's my question for you. What would you do with an extra $400 a month? Not what would you buy, what would you do? Because that's the real cost of the convenience premium. And only you get to decide if avoiding 8 minutes of effort is worth it. I'm Ronald, and I'll see you in the next deal.